Okay, guys, welcome to the Chosen One podcast show. If you landed on this podcast episode, you are probably a manifesting generator and a female entrepreneur, coach, or expert. So, welcome. Take a cup of tea and binge listen to all the amazing episodes I have set up for you. Episodes to help you create the right energy and mindset to create the manifesting generator business and life of your dreams. Here we go. Okay, Queens, I'm on my way home from my CEO workday. So for today, I actually decided to go to a beautiful place, a restaurant which is overlooking a beautiful lake here in the Netherlands, and the weather is kind of like stormy here, so it was so amazing to look at the beautiful water and to see how it moves and how intense it is, and just overlooking that beautiful lake while working got me in such a good CEO vibe. I was so productive. Then at 2, I had the call with my MG Dream Academy members, which is soon to be changed, or it's actually changing into the MG CEO Academy. It's just time. It's time to go into the next level name of this academy, because it is a MG CEO Academy. So I'm excited to sort of like incorporate that. It is the first Tuesday of the month, so we always have the frequency call. And after the call I did in a car, because I couldn't do the call there, because we do initiation work and we do activations, and that's like super powerful deep healing work, so you cannot do that with all these people around. So I did that in the car. And after the call, I went back to the restaurant to finish up some things I was working on, a couple of freebies that went out to the email list. So I had a very productive day. And what I've really noticed in my energy is, this is so interesting, because I did a lot of activations today during the healing call and during the frequency call, and one of the activation was an activation that really aligns us to nature and to really being present in the moment. Because when we want to manifest our biggest dreams, it is so important to be an energetic match to it, right? So the energy work I do on the first Tuesday of the month is a very important part of that. And I was sitting in that restaurant, and every time these amazing songs would come up, right? And I was like, oh my God, I just felt so in love with life sitting there in this beautiful place, and then this beautiful music. And it just reminded me on such a deep level that when we tune into this energy, life becomes almost like a fairy tale, right? It's like the birds will talk to us, and the nature will talk to us, and the songs on the radio will talk to us, and we will find these signs and all these clues in all the things around us, right? So I just wanted to remind you today that I'm not even going there, that there is so much more than just what we can see with our eyes in the physical reality. Your spirit team, your guides, the angels, the universe, however you want to call it, it's always communicating with you. And I remember when I was just starting in 2017-18 with my podcast show, I did these podcast episodes as well, right? Where I was just like describe what I would see when I was on this frequency. And I remember my husband would back in the day always like draw pictures of me, like in my notebook. I would open my notebook, and then he would have drawn pictures in there of me like floating and saying like, "Hey Sophie, where are you going? Right? We're still here." And like that's like the vibe when we get to this higher. When we get up to this higher frequency, right? Or if, like how Abraham calls it, the vortex. In the vortex, it's like, it's fun. Everything is a game. And you get to be surprised in so many amazing ways. So it's just such a beautiful reminder that there's so much more out there than just a physical reality, that there is a complete energetic field that you cannot see with the eye, but that is definitely out there available for you. Okay, so if you're feeling the vibe of the MG CEO Academy, if you feel like you are ready to step up as the CEO of your business, then go to the show notes. I have 2 freebies set up for you. The first is my complete business success strategy. This is the exact strategy I use and still use and have used to actually build a very successful business twice. Both occasions I managed to make a substantial amount of income within 3 months after starting. It's the strategy I still use to consistently move the needle in my business from a very soul-aligned place, working with very soul-aligned clients. And the second freebie is actually a freebie where I share the process of claiming the CEO identity, because this is actually a process, right? This is something you go through different phases when you want to claim this identity, and I explain this whole 4-step process in this PDF as well. So if you feel called to actually embrace that new CEO identity, go to those freebies, download them, and go check it out. Okay, love you guys. Have an amazing evening. I'm going back home to my mom, to my child, to my husband. I'm first gonna go to the grocery store, do some groceries, make sure we have something nice to eat tonight. I think I'm gonna make pasta with salmon, because that's always delicious and it's very easy to make. And then we're watching actually a beautiful new series. I don't know where I'm watching it because I have so many channels. Like, I don't know what it's like in the States or in different countries, but I never use the television. Like, I never watch regular television. I always use Apple TV and watch all these streaming platforms. But I have all these subscriptions. I don't know where I'm watching this, but it's a series about Italy and Sicily in around 1800, and my husband loves it as well, so we're watching it together, which makes it more fun. We absolutely love Italy. My dad actually lives in Italy. He has been for, I think, almost, 15 years now. My brother has a beautiful Italian concept store. Italy is very linked to us. We go to Italy a couple of times a year. We absolutely love Venice. We are deadly in love with Venice. Literally, if I'm there, I just feel like I'm at home. It is such a amazing place, and it's so interesting because it's also very filled with tourists, and yet I feel like I'm at home there, and my husband as well. It's incredible because there are no cars. It's I don't know, I can't describe the feeling, but when we get nearby Venice and we always go with the car, and then you see this amazing big bridge towards Venice, and you just know, okay, I have to park my car there, and then we go with the boat, and then we're on in Venice. I wouldn't even describe it as an island because it's not. It's something out of this world. I cannot describe it, but it's just the best feeling there. I love it. And I miss it. We haven't been for a while. We haven't been since we actually had our beautiful daughter. So it's about time that we go there again. We would love to go maybe in January again. So I'm hoping we are able to manifest that. Okay, this was it for today. Again, wishing you all my love, and I hope you enjoy your night. I hope you enjoy your family. I hope you remember to enjoy all the the amazing moments that life has to offer us. And just look around you, look at the beautiful trees, look at the beautiful grass, look at the birds. It's all communicating with you if you are willing and able to see it. Okay, I'll give you one final example of this. When in 2017 I started my business, I started off with writing an ebook, and this ebook was called The 7 Keys to ultimate happiness. I think it was in Dutch, and I gave this example in this book of how frequency is so subtle, right? And that the frequency where you are at is actually the most important thing, which also reminds me that I keep thinking about doing a new webinar or a new masterclass around the universal laws, because that is one thing I used to do back then as well, host webinars about the universal laws. And that just reminded me while I was telling this. But anyways, in this book, I'm giving the 7 keys, and one of the keys is like really the law of vibration, right? That everything is vibration, and if you are at a certain frequency, you will attract like everything that is aligned with that, right? The law of attraction says that when you are you attract what you are, right? So imagine you are currently at a radio frequency, we call it sky radio here in the Netherlands. It's a specific radio frequency. And if I have my radio tuned on Sky Radio, I can only hear what Sky Radio is broadcasting. I cannot hear what they're broadcasting on, let's say, Sublime FM, So if you want to go to Sublime FM, you have to like change the frequency. Well, that's an example of frequency work. And then I was explaining in the book that back then I still had my small car. I now have my Audi Q3, but back then I had a little Volkswagen, the up it's called, a very small. I loved that car. It was an amazing car. And in my how do you say that? In my mirror on the outside of my car, there was this little thing on the glass, and I really thought it was a flower. And I just loved it, and I left it there for literally weeks. And then one day my brother actually borrowed my car, and he got to the car and he was like, what is this for kind of rubbish? And he took it off because he looked at it and he saw that it was a piece of a balloon, like it was just a small piece of plastic from a balloon. And I had actually viewed that piece of plastic as a beautiful flower. I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Somebody placed a flower on my glass. I really thought that, and I left it there for weeks. And he looked at it and he was like, what is this for kind of garbage? And he threw it away. And I thought that was such an interesting example of the frequency work and how, the glasses you have on really determine how you view things in your life and what you attract. So I thought that was a beautiful example. I wanted to share it with you, and I hope it reaches you well. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon.